So I'm going to talk about the spiritual attack that I experienced recently, right? And there was a spiritual attack that was significant that came the last time that I was on No FAP, which is no PMO, no porn, masturbation, orgasm, none of that. And so there is something about the energy that we hold that is threatening to evil people. And this time around, I was on an app called Upscrolled, and I was sharing my opinion about the genocides taking place, thinking that it was, created by somebody outside, the big tech matrix, in which the right kind of free speech would be allowed and promoted. But in fact, it's a cesspool of neo Nazis and extremists from around the world, calling for violence, calling for murder, calling for genocide, and that sort of a thing. But I wasn't really aware of it. So somebody heard my videos and talked about, how me and my people, he's looking forward to the day in which we're all killed. And then basically he's telling me in the private messages to bend over and cough as if he's a cop who wants to march me into prison. So, this is a spiritual attack. It's the type of one that would send someone normally back onto that, possibly. And, it's interesting because when I hit 35 days, no FAP, the first time, 1 year ago, 11 months ago specifically, somebody who was watching my side channel figured out where I was and doxed me. And he was another Nazi who was obsessed with me for years. So the hatred does really tend to come out. How it may come out for you versus how it may come out to me or come at me is going to be, in relation to, vulnerabilities that we may particularly happen to have. One of the things that I came to understand about racists is that they really don't like the light around certain people, especially if they perceive them to be foreigner looking or not white enough, right? So they'll attack them for their light, for their spirituality, because they don't lack any. So as far as the energy suckers, I'll conclude with this. I've been picking up on that more so now than ever. And it's the idea of something feeding on the back of the head or the back of the chakras, the back of the spine. And from the fear and the trauma that was ignited, it seemed like there were that there were sensations that I felt, of the energy suckers at different parts of the body, feeding on that loosh, feeding on that trauma. So, this is actually kind of traumatic to talk about. I'll make a possibly another short about this. But be on the lookout for spiritual attacks if you're going to be on the NoFap journey, because we have a habit of doing that to deal with, feeling pleasure. And when we don't have that, it's much more raw. So I aim to write and process it out.